As the race for global dominance shifts from traditional oil fields to the high-tech mineral mines of the future, a quiet revolution is taking place across the African continent, one that has left Washington and Brussels in a state of absolute shock. For decades, the script was predictable. Foreign powers arrived with aid packages, African governments signed the dotted lines, and resources flowed out while help flowed in. But as we move into May 2026, that old playbook has been tossed into the fire. From the copper belts of Zambia to the gold-rich fields of Ghana, African leaders are doing something the world never saw coming. They are saying no. They are walking away from billion-dollar deals and rejecting help fundings that has been the backbone of local services for generations. This isn't just a policy change, it is a declaration of war against the Trojan Horse of modern diplomacy. Good day, you're watching the Global Observer, and I urge you to stay right there. Our lead story today pulls back the curtains on the dark truth behind why African governments are denying foreign help and how the fight for critical minerals has turned medical aid into a high-stakes bargaining chip. To understand this earthquake in diplomacy, we have to look at the recent collapse of talks between Zambia and the United States. Imagine you are starving and someone offers you a massive plate of food, but they tell you that in order to eat, you must give them the keys to your house and let them record every private conversation you have with your family. That is exactly what the Zambian government says happened. Foreign Minister Mulambo Hamne recently revealed that the U.S. offered a staggering $2 billion for health programs. On the surface, it looked like a lifeline for HIV and malaria patients. But there was a catch, a contentious clause. The U.S. reportedly tied this life-saving help money to a critical minerals agreement. Basically, if Zambia wanted the medicine, they had to give up exclusive access to their mines. Lusaka looked at the deal and decided that their sovereignty wasn't for sale. They chose to protect their resources and the privacy of their citizens' health data over the easy aid money. This isn't just happening in Zambia. The no is echoing across the continent like a drumbeat. In Ghana, officials have gone public with their rejection of a $300 million health deal. Why? Because the America First strategy was shifting the cost of health services onto the Ghanaian government while demanding control over systems that were once independent. But the real deal breaker was the demand for data. In a digital age, information is the new goal. When foreign powers demand access to the health data of millions of Africans, they aren't just looking for medical trends, they are looking for leverage. Zimbabwe has also pulled out of a $367 million deal for the same reason. These governments are realizing that free help often comes with the most expensive price tag of all, the loss of national control. Now, dear viewers, let's talk about the minerals for security trap. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, the situation is even more intense. The DRC holds the world's heart in its hands: lithium for electric cars, cobalt for smartphones, and uranium for defense tech. But while the world wants the minerals, the DRC wants peace. President Felix has been dealing with M23 rebels who have captured terrorists rich in these very resources. Recently, a new deal was proposed to the US. Give us the military help to defeat the rebels, and we will give you exclusive rights to the minerals. It sounds like a fair trade, right? But the danger is that it turns a country's natural world into a ransom payment. In Africa, if Africa has to give away its future to survive its present, is it really winning? This is a dark truth that keeps leaders awake at night. The analogy is simple. Africa is no longer the sick man of the world looking for a handout. Africa is a store owner who realizes he has the only inventory everyone else needs to survive the next century. Without African copper, cobalt, and lithium, the green energy revolution in the West stops dead in its tracks. The electric cars in California and the wind turbines in Europe start and end with African soil. Leaders like President Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe are making it clear the days of taking raw materials out for pennies are over. They are demanding value addition. They want the batteries made in Africa. They want the processing done in Africa. They want the jobs to stay where the rocks are found. They are moving from passive participation to strategic engagement. This shift is being fueled by a new generation of Africans. Young people are on social media, watching these deals in real time. They are asking why their countries are resource-rich, but people still remain poor. This public pressure is a powerful engine. Leaders know that if they sign a bad deal that sells out the nation's future, the people will hold them accountable. This has changed the atmosphere at the negotiating table. When a Western diplomat walks in today, they aren't meeting a beggar. They are meeting a CEO who knows exactly what his assets are and their worth. The leverage has shifted. Dependency has moved from the south to the north. The West needs Africa's minerals more than Africa needs the West's conditional aid. We are also seeing a massive move toward intra-African trade. Instead of looking across the ocean for partners, countries are looking across their own borders. They are building regional value chains to process their own resources. They are discussing local currencies to stop being victims of foreign financial shocks. It's like a neighborhood deciding to build its own grocery, the entire grocery store, instead of driving 10 miles to the one that overcharged them. This situation isn't easy. There are still big gaps in electricity, roads, and stable politics, but the direction is clear. The goal is no longer isolation. The goal is negotiation from strength. Partnerships must be the way, or there will be no deal at all. This brings us to a critical turning point in Black history. For centuries, the narrative for Africa was written by other explorers, colonizers, and philanthropists. But in 2026, the pen has changed hands. Reforming the mining sector isn't just about money. It is about dignity. It is about ensuring that the wealth under the feet of African children actually pays for their education. When Zambia or Ghana says no to a lopsided deal, they are honoring the struggle for independence that started decades ago. They are staying and saying that political freedom is meaningless without economic sovereignty. This is a second liberation of the continent. But let's be real, dear viewers, the stakes are incredibly high. Rejecting hundreds of millions of dollars in health funding means people might struggle to get medicine today so that the nation can own its mines tomorrow. It is a painful short-term sacrifice for long-term gain strategy. It takes immense political courage to tell a superpower to take their money and leave if the terms aren't fair. The world is watching to see if this resistance movement can hold its ground. Will the West offer better, fairer terms, or will they look for other ways to force their way in? One thing is certain, the old assumptions are dead. Africa is no longer on the sidelines. It is the central player in the global economy. As we wrap up this look into the changing phase of African diplomacy, we must realize that the dark truth isn't just about the greed of foreign powers. It is also about the awakening of a giant. The governments are denying help. They are denying control. They are also choosing to be the masters of their own destiny. Even if the road is rocky, the decision to walk away from a bad deal is the ultimate act of power. It is a reminder that in a world competing for resources, the one who owns the soil holds the cards. Africa has decided to play its hand, and the game will never be the same again. Thank you for watching the Global Observer. I urge you to continue watching for more.